I'll be completely honest with you. I got like 6 pages and 17 minutes deep into this live reaction, only to realize my mic was not on the entire time. So, first 6 pages of this is gonna be quick! What's up, guys? It's that guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do have it too. Have it on me, keep it on me at all times. Another fun fact, I'm so mad! I'm so mad! Why? It was literally just working yesterday. Why did it do this? I'm so glad I didn't get too far. I'm done, but 17 minutes just go. I'm sorry. 70 minutes in library, that's gone. Like, it's into the ether. So I know what happens in the first 6 pages. I'm not gonna be able to fall for the fake. Okay, but here we are. What's up, guys? That guy with the pencil here. Fun fact, I do want to have it on me. Keep it on me at all times. Fun fact. Where's the chat? Like we're pre-drawing everything. I'm sorry, I'm nettled. I'm very, very nettled. First 6 pages. Where are the points they just come? I'm mad. Y'all getting rage bait pencil for this first section because like why were you not? Okay, but Ghost Ship Chronostasis, 59 Hunt, shifting futures. So far, so good. Let me just go over what happens in the first 6 pages. We get, seemingly enough, what seems to be like, I'm not sure how much of this is meant to be literal or how much of this is meant to be, like, not literal. Like, I don't know if Kizashi's saying this, right? But on the Ghost Ship Chronostasis, we're seeing a hypothetical future, right? We see that Minerva is sleeping in bed for some reason, and a certain someone swoops onto the scene. Up from the depths we rise, the dregs of regret incarnate. Yo ho, a curse upon the living. Yo ho, death to all life. Yo ho, a curse upon the living. Yo ho, death to all life. And Kizashi takes a trident that I didn't know he had and just stabs it straight into Minerva's belly, instantly diffing her. And Gigi Shirani's like, oh, well, we're good. So, we're seeing hypothetical futures, right? Obviously, we're still in the planning phase. See, I fell for the fake. Sorry, I'm mad. I'm very annoyed. I hate. OBS in many ways has made my life a lot more convenient when it comes to editing because I can like do everything and edit things like as I'm recording. But it does this. Like it sometimes just doesn't function for no reason. My mic is always this. I never unplug it. Why is it like this? But regardless, we are seeing hypothetical futures. The reason I'm saying I'm not sure how much of this is literal and how much of this is like what's being seen is, one, there are undead creatures following Kizashi. What does that mean? Like, Kizashi seems to be the gamma energy being with, like, water abilities. Gamma water. Why does he have the undead following him? I don't know. But, on top of that, where did he get a trident from? They just have that? Did he make it? Is it a magic construct? I have no idea. But, real quick, things from last video that went over in the 17 minutes that are now just lost into the ether. Shout out to everyone for pointing out to me that really wouldn't make sense for Kizashi to have, like, fought the World Hater extensively and lost 600 of his lives to him. Because, if that were the case, he would be the best friend, right? But notably, he's not the best friend, he's the boss. Speaking of him being the boss, I'm actually kind of intrigued that we are getting, like, no mention or backstory of that, right? How did Kizashi meet the World Hater? When did he become one of his 7 stars? Did they ever actually meet? Did he hear about it? We just don't know. Kizashi's lived a very sheltered life, clearly, but he hasn't left this sea. Speaking of leaving the sea, can he do that? Same thing with the current cast and crew. That luckily, I got 6 pages deep, but I don't know if that's, like, a thing. Can they not just leave? Well, they're talking about leaving, hypothetically, and... But, with that being the case, we don't know how the World Hater and Kizashi tie into each other, which is why I think this sea shanty, if you will, is maybe something built off the World Hater specifically. This doesn't make sense for Kizashi to say, right? Specifically, a curse upon the living, maybe, but even then, that does not sound like Kizashi. Yo ho, a death to all life. That's what's like... That seems World Hater coded and not Kizashi coded. Why? Because Kizashi likes living strong people. If he fought Deskros, I assume he would actually probably be pretty cool with Deskros, considering Deskros is an actual strong human. But they just haven't fought yet, so there is that. But at the same time, we know other Magics are strong. It's not like Kizashi actually wants Chrono to be boomed. In fact, he doesn't like that Chrono is boomable at all. He wants him really, really strong so he can fight him, which is the whole reason why he wants to Minerva in the first place. So, like, I don't know. This may just be, like, a version of, like, a prophecy thing. And the reason why I'm saying everything may not be super literal is because this is all just revealed to be, like, a Jiki Shirone premonition, right? So, maybe it's valid, maybe it's not. I have no idea. And then maybe this is literal. Maybe this is, like, the Percy Jackson series where, like, an oracle, aka, in our case, Sammy, in the body of Jiki Shirone, gets a prophecy in the form of words, and they can, like, visualize that alongside there. But the thing is, in Percy Jackson, the prophecy giver, the person who's possessed by the spirit of Delphi and gives the prophecy, they don't even, like, hear the prophecy themselves. They kind of just reflexively say it. The spirit says it through their body. Someone else needs to write it down. And on top of that, they don't actually get images of what the prophecy words mean. So I'm not sure. Is this meant to be Kizashi singing this thing? I don't know. But it seems very World Hater coded. So, very intriguing. Another thing that's very important. Kizashi has 204 lives left. I think this is meant to be 200. I'm not sure if we're going to see Kizashi later in the chapter. Only got 6 pages deep. But in this case, he has 204 lives. Meaning that Uro, if I'm not mistaken, chopped off how many? Let me see, 304? Yeah, so his Giga Ultra Super Mega Inazuri attack, that ended up chunking 100 lives off of Kizashi. Which is very good, but still does make me almost double or if not triple down believe that they're not actually capturing Kizashi this arc, right? Like he may end up showing up and be like a more mid-series antagonist again still when our cast, and by our cast I literally mean Ichi, when Ichi's stronger, because the fact that he still has 200 lives to spare and Ichi's just not going to be a part of this arc, as we find out that Ichi is still asleep. He's still on his 3-day cooldown period, and not enough time has passed for him to make any progress in that, basically, considering we are still following up from last chapter directly. We're still in the planning phase. Ichi's not going to be useful here. And I don't see Kizashi being captured by Descaros, as funny as that would be, and definitely not by Komugi, as funny as that would be. And Gokuraku can't capture Majik. So, like, I don't think they're actually going to capture Kizashi this arc. He has 204 lives left. That's more than enough. Once again, though, I do want to know if we could just get, like, just a word, a sentence of confirmation that it was Chrono who took 600 plus of Kizashi's lives. Because I agree, there's very little reason why he would have fought World Hater and not already have World Hater as his best friend if World Hater really did take 600 of his lives. We don't even know if Kizashi himself is, like, fully aware of the life counter thing. Like, assumingly he is, because he mentions, like, you need to do it over and over again. You need to keep booming me. But, like, I don't know. He's never, like, acknowledged it. So that's still up in the air. And I think that was, like, all the major stuff I wanted to cover. That was lost in those 17 minutes. Only took 7 minutes this time. So, we're streamlined. But with it being the case, we ultimately see Jishirone see this Shishanti. I still don't know. I don't get it. This, once again, is World Hater. Like, where are these bodies coming from? But with it being the case, we see Jishirone go, it's no good. As long as Minerva stays on the chronostasis, no matter what we do, Kizashi will slay her. And we see Descaros be like, well, there goes sticking around. And we come into the Team Descaros meeting. Everyone is here. Notably, though, I guess she went back and grabbed her hat, because she doesn't have her hat in this, but then she proceeds to put her hat on here. Gotta fit up fully if you're gonna be in a team meeting, I suppose. And we see that ultimately Gokuraku asks a very important question. Hey, are their prophecies really that accurate? And to that I say, like, from what we know of the World Hater, or no, not the World Hater, of Sammy, their prophecies are like 50% accurate? Because notably, Komugi's prophecy that she got all the way back at the beginning of the series, that she was gonna, I think it was like something like you're gonna run into people today, or like watch out because people are gonna come hit you. That ended up becoming true 100%. Ichi, bada bing, bada boom, they crashed. So that was true. Then Gokuraku is unironically, it's funny he's asking this, but it makes sense that he's asking it. And two, he himself was actually the result of a successful prophecy, right? Because the whole point of going to Bakugami was based on a real prophecy by Jigi Shirona. So that's accurate. But we have two prophecies, one of which was a 50-50, and one of which was just absolutely wrong, right? The 50-50 was whoever captures Uro will battle the World Hater, bing, bam, boom. But also, it comes with a built-in 50-50. Either Ichi beats World Hater, and they both die, and or Ichi loses the World Hater, and everybody dies. So, like, that, like, the efficacy of that prophecy, it's literally uncertain in of itself, right? So, like, who knows? There are some Percy Jackson prophecies like that. Like, the Great Prophecy in Heroes of Olympus in particular does actually have, like, a clause in it. Like, I think it's, like, by fire or storm or something like that. Like, something gets brought up there where, like, there's, like, interpretation arguments whether or not Leo actually had to be the one to slay Gaia, or if it could have been somebody else. And, like, there are people who even think that, spoilers for Trials of Apollo, I suppose? I don't know, it's been out for a while. But there's a character who perishes, and a lot of people think that that character who perishes only perished because the conditions of the Great Prophecy from Heroes of Olympus were not met. So that character had to go because Leo cheated death at the end of the Heroes of Olympus with the Asclepius revival potion, whatever they had built in Festus. How Festus managed to survive being burned alive, but Gaia didn't, I don't know. But regardless, that's the case there, where there are some, like, clause contingencies prophecies, but even then they eventually come true fully. But The World Hitter one is like completely 50-50 by its very nature. And then the last, like the major prophecy we got back when the World Hitter first appeared was just wrong, right? The idea that X town will just disappear off the map didn't. It's perfectly fine. It's still there, in fact. World Hitter never, seemingly enough, he may have gone back off screen and done it, they just don't know, but World Hitter never even got that town at all. So their prophecy is just wrong. So they have two successful ones from what I know. Then they have one that's a 50-50 of itself and one that's just flat out wrong. So technically, if we go by like typical grading standards, they're failing. But anyway, it could be. And we see Komugi simply affirm it as naturally her entire existence here is also based on Jishirone's prophecies. And naturally, we see that Descaros is like, oh, well, if we have the future person helping us out with information from the future, do you know when Kizashi will arrive? And and I keep calling Jishirone Sammy. Sammy says, yes, tomorrow night. And Descaros realizes that Squid's recovering faster than we'd hoped. And I'll admit, when she said Squid, in the original 17 minutes, I was very confused. But then when you actually count Kizashi's limbs, yeah, he has seemingly 8 octopus legs. But, like, he also does have arms. And I think squids do have, like, 10 tentacles? Or, like, they have, like, 8 tentacles and, like, the 2 mini tentacles. Hold on. How many limbs does a squid have? How many limbs? Not humans. Not humans. Yeah, does a squid have? 10. Yeah, so 10. So, yep, he has 10 limbs. A head and 10 limbs. So, technically, he is literally a squid. I was calling him the octopus Majik. In fact, he's literally called the Octobomb Majik. So, funnily enough, he should be like the Squid Bomb Majik. Realistically, based on like his number of limbs and what Descaros says here. Didn't really think about that. But she says, that squids are recovering faster than we'd hoped. Why can't I not speak? Let's see. So we've got until tomorrow to get Minerva as far from the ship as possible. And Komugi brings up the natural idea, wait, we do have a way to escape this. We'll take the comets, right? And Descaros says, right. Neither Minerva nor Ichi can do much. They're just passengers. Once again, confirming that Ichi is still on his 3-day cooldown period. He is knocked out. He will not be, at least, unless something really tricky and freaky happens, he will not be a major part of the conclusion of this arc. I don't think this arc is going to drag up for 3 whole days for Ichi to get up and clutch up or anything like that. I think that man is fried for right now. But with it being the case, right, neither Minerva nor Ichi can do much. They're just passengers, which means I'll pilot one of the comets. Gokuraku can take the other. So we're seeing, essentially they are leaving a comet behind. They're leaving, I believe, is Jiki and Ichi's comet behind, because they came on 4 separate ones. But in order to do that, presumably Komugi's going to be holding Ichi to make sure he doesn't fall off, and Jiki's going to be holding Minerva to make sure she doesn't fall off, as Jiki was perfectly fine with piloting their own comet, and Minerva likely just isn't used to it. Meanwhile, Komugi needs to hold Ichi as he's literally unconscious. But with it being the case, Gokuraku naturally asks the question, how far do we have to travel? How far do we need to go? And Descaros says, there's a harbor 600 miles to the south. They have a mirror there for Mirage Passage, the Great Lighthouse Mirror, which is interesting. But, I mean, it makes sense, right? They are in the middle of nowhere, and very specifically, the Pendulum Seas, where they are right now, is, like, known to be a bad place. And a place where ships are not even really supposed to go because of what we now know as Kizashi, but was long thought to be Chrono. And you see, she says, make it that far, and we can take both Ichi and Minerva straight to Mantinel HQ. But while we're on the move, we need someone to stall Kizashi. Mr. Chrono Weaver. And I do love how she's still keeping up with Mr. Chrono Weaver after being dumped in the ocean repeatedly. She's like, Mr. Chrono Weaver, can I ask that of you? And naturally, Chrono's like, you want to take my wife? I don't even want y'all to catch. You want to take my wife? But obviously, they're not doing anything bad to Minerva. In fact, like has been pointed out by me and y'all in the comments, Minerva seems like she's ready to pop any second. Like, birth is happening sometime soon. Like, I don't know how long, like, Masha keeping pregnancy. Like, she clearly seems to be well into her 3rd trimester. Like, it doesn't seem like the baby's waiting much longer anyway. So, if anything, her being on the boat to give birth probably wouldn't be the best or safest place for her to do that anyway. Might as well go to the Mantinel Witch Association, which does have numerous healing mages that would actually help her properly deliver the baby. But at the same time, I understand why Chrono would be extra on edge about her being taken there, because while Descaros, the strongest, Ichi, who's unconscious, Komugi, who just is a nice person, and Gokuraku, who's chill about it, they're all chill about it, but presumably bringing the wife of Chrono Weaver to the Mantinel Witches Association while she's pregnant with this baby. Like how do you even explain the scenario and not somehow reveal that Chrono is the father to the child that is Minerva? And like cause a whole bunch of extra issues for Chrono. So I don't blame Chrono for being very paranoid and not wanting them to just take her. And also just leaving the boat in general. We don't know the context behind why he's so attached to the boat. It may have something to do with his trial, unironically, but still, taking his wife does have him naturally immediately on edge, and I don't blame him for that. But we see that ultimately Deskros is willing to leverage this, and like leverage the scenario, right? Because they do need to do something. And she says, I'm sure you don't want to leave Minerva in human hands, but you're going to have to trust us on this. Naturally, right? Because like Deskros could stay back and fight, and she would probably be better than Chrono right now. Presumably, I mean, notably, Chrono was, despite being in a quote-unquote weakened state, was still able to pretty much blitz Deskros. She was not able to get anything off. So if anything, he is technically still their strongest fighter here. But we know that it's not perfect. It's not perfect. He would essentially have to just keep rewinding Kizashi and throwing him away. And how effective that will be, we don't know. But with that being the... And especially we don't know if Kizashi gets stronger as he loses lives. I feel like that wouldn't make sense. But still, we know very little about Kizashi. We know very little about Ichi the Witch's universe in general. I'm telling you, dog. The universe is big. But I'm interested to see, because this is as far as I got into the original 17 minutes. We're back almost at 17 minutes, so let's see. But you're going to have to trust us on this. Aww. Okay, so they actually are going for it. That's sweet. Okay, so that is, because I was wondering, why don't they just try to escape? The only issue I could see, though, is Kizashi's going to follow them, right? Like that's the main concern. Kizashi's going to follow them. He can probably, if not flat out, sense where they're going. He'll just see them leaving, right? We don't know why he's actually wasted Lamar Knight. He may still just be regenerating, right? Could be his regen speed is just taking a while. But Kizashi probably knows. Heck, Uro could sense 600 people, or no, could sense a whole bunch of people at the harbor 600 miles away. Kizashi does seem to be extremely fast and extremely strong, so it wouldn't be shocked if he just goes there and is like, bring me the woman, or I will boom this entire harbor. And you know I will, I do not care at all. So like, they're still in a pretty rough scenario. But we see, let's see. So Minerva does give Chrono a smooch. I'll be fine. I'll keep our baby safe too, okay? When you're done, come and get me, Crow. Aw, that's sweet. So they are gonna come. But like, once again, Crow, what's so important about the bow? You can bring the bow back. Like, maybe don't get lifted, but like, Deskros, you could pull. Okay, Gokuraku, uncross your arms, bro. Be happy. Be happy. At least even Deskros is like, hey, we love a good healthy relationship. But Gokuraku, fix your face and uncross them arms, dog. But very specifically, why don't you just leave? Leave the Pendulum Seas, dog. People will still sail there. They're gonna be stupid, but like, it is not worth it, gang. Go be with your wife. Like, if anything, Chrono should go with them. And then if Kizashi pulls up afterwards, then Chrono should double back and like fight him. I think leaving Chrono here, I mean, I get it though as bait, but leave the ship as bait. Unless there's, once again, there must be something important about Chronostasis itself that Chrono is so reluctant to leave it. Right? Like, there's gotta be some reason behind that. Let's see. When you're done, come and get me, Crow. Okay. Oh, so they're going for it. Oh, poor Kamui. She's like, I know. Before my eyes. Let's see. Great. But yeah, okay. I'm about to say there's no way this is actually gonna work out too well. What about the shifting future? Let's see. Great. Let's get this evacuation underway. Gokuraku's like, man, I can't do anything. He's like, I just joined y'all, so I'm gonna hit Magics. Why haven't hit nothing this arc? We'll see. Let's get the evacuation plan underway. Gokuraku, check over the comments and make sure they're in top shape. We'll get on the other preparations. Okay. Because, I mean, that's smart. Gokuraku is the magic tool guy. Let's see. Does this sound like it'll work, Jiki Shirone? And Jiki Shirone should tell them her name's Sammy. Like, at this point, they should tell her. Well, I get why not, though. She's still hesitant. She's mainly moving to protect Minerva. Let's see. No. Hang on a minute. Okay, so that's good. I was wondering, because I've been pointing out for a while. Why not just leave? But there does seem to be complications behind it. Okay, everyone's looking. Wait, is this... I'm assuming this is an alternate future again, right? Splu? I'm back! I'm back! I'm back! Back! I'm back! I'm backity back! I'm back! Kizashi is reborn! Yep, 204 lives. So that is... So Ichi... So man, Uro, that is good though. So that implies that if Uro did like, he would have to wait though, and Uro's not waiting. Like if that 5-minute timer was not up, Uro was definitely going to boom that entire town, just going a massive slaughter spree. So like it was very, very important that he ran out of time there. But this means technically Uro, who didn't seem any worse for wear from using that ultra amped Uro magic, which makes sense, it's his own power. He could have just 3-shot. Well, technically 4. He could have 4-shot Kizashi with that, just over and over and over again. That's actually kind of crazy. That's actually kind of crazy. And once again, like Deskuros was diffing him. We gotta remember that. Uro, unless it was gonna be like a Jinchuriki thing where Magic's in control of the human body are stronger than the regular selves. Uro was getting diffed by Deskuros. She just couldn't beat him because of the conditions. But then again, technically she kind of did lose because she seemed to be out of magic or something in chapter 1. Let's see. Kizashi is reborn! It took longer than I thought to regenerate, though. Still, I regenerated from that blast, just like I said I would, Your Majesty. Let's be bestest buds now. I do wonder how, like once again, this smile from 2 chapters ago. I do wonder, like, would Uro have actually been like homies with him? That's a strange thing. I don't know, because he's not like Uro doesn't seem to be friends with the World Hater. They just seem to have like a mutual respect where they're like, you do your own thing, I'll do mine. Let's just stay out of each other's way. It's not worth it. Like, clearly there seems to be some sort of mutual respect there. But would Uro have actually developed a mutual respect for Kizashi? Or have just stolen his magic and kept it pushing? Let's see. Still, I generated from that blast, just like I said I would, Your Majesty. Let's be bestest buds now. Chrono just horrified me. Welcome back to my boat. Leave. What's it? Huh? Oh, hi, Chrono. Perfect timing. I was just thinking we need to get back to being buds, too. Give me a sec. I'll go and kill Minnie. Right. Yeah. Like that, I mean, I get Chrono. Wait, no. Kizashi, why are you missing a tooth there, buddy? But I do. What? Yay! Stop it. Kizashi. I like him too much. I'm glad other people like Kizashi too. It's not just me. But, like, dude, I guess if you, like, I gotta think of it like English? I gotta think of it as being unable to just register other people's preferences and happiness, right? Like, what's something that I don't like that other people do? I don't, well, then again, though, that's because of conditions, right? If it was more effective or, like, more reasonable, I'd do it more. But, like, recently, I don't know what it is with me, I've stopped eating out. If there's something I want outside of, like, I will figure out how to make it myself, right? Like, recently, all types of chicken, like, I've just figured out how to fry and remake those chicken, like, from specific restaurants and stuff like that. I do that now. Mozzarella sticks, I just now fry the mozzarella sticks myself. I'm not gonna go out and pay extra money for those. I have mozzarella sticks, I can do that. I don't even really eat, I don't eat french fries consistently, so I don't even do that often. I only literally came with the mozzarella thing yesterday at the time of recording. But just like stuff like that, like, there's no motivation or incentive for me to eat out anymore. But a lot of people love to do it, right? That's the whole reason that industry still. Oh no, here's a way better deal, because like food is specific and also heavily based on economic conditions, right? So like that's a little different. Very specifically, I have never gotten the appeal of concerts. I don't know. It's never been a thing for me. I've been to them. They were fine. But, like, never really got... And it's funny, because, like, I love theater, right? I was an actor, and, like, I did theater, and I do still love theater to this day, and I love to go see theater. But, like, concerts, especially concerts now, like, $400, $500 a ticket to barely be able to see it. Like, it's never made sense to me. Never, ever, ever made sense to me. And thusly, if everyone was like me, that wouldn't be an industry. Like, that wouldn't be a thing. So, that's something that I'm fundamentally different on, and I just don't understand why other people get it. I get it, but here's the thing, though. That's the difference between me and Kizashi. I understand why people like it. People like the sensation, they like the crowd, they like everything about it. Like, being able to see their artist in person, even if they are all the way back or super high up in the nosebleed seats. Like, they still get something out of it that I just don't, right? I don't get those same feelings. I've been to concerts before. Mostly it's been well. And it's just never really been a thing for me. I'm assuming that's the same thing for Kizashi, right? He may understand that Crow loves Minnie. He may understand, like, just knowledge-wise, that Crow will not let Kizashi do that, even if it would make him stronger. But he just doesn't get it. He doesn't care. He knows, but he doesn't understand, and doesn't even try to understand or acquiesce. And that's probably it. Let's see. Kill Minnie. Right. And the baby she carries. Yep! See, that's the thing. I'll admit, Kizashi, I really like Bakugami though. Like, out of all the like so far arc carrying magic antagonists, Kizashi probably is right behind Bakugami for me. And admittedly, we haven't had too many, right? What, it's like Urawashi, Inazuri doesn't really count. And like Origumi doesn't really count. So we haven't had much. But like, he is right behind Bakugami for me. I love his presentation. I love his design. Like, especially considering I was like, kind of like, on his design at first. I think Bakugami only edges him out for me because one, he just had a longer, more character-intensive arc. And it was also like Kokuraku's arc as well. But also, I think he just has a better and more in-depth design, too, in comparison to Kizashi. But Kizashi, personality-wise, like, blows Bakugami out the water. But yep. I'm afraid you can't do that. Your time stops here. With prophecy on our side, we can read your moves like a book. Oh, okay. So that's interesting. Once again, he just refers to Sammy as prophecy, right? Like, he may be talking about prophecy as in the literal, like, foretelling ability, but also, that's very interesting that he's separate from that. He is the Chrono Weaver Magic, but he can't, he very specifically can deal with time in a moment, right? He can stop a person's time. He can freeze a person's time. Like, he has dominion over an area, but he doesn't have any dominion over the future, and he definitely can't change the past, seemingly. He can rewind a certain person to the point where they were like in the past. Like he mentions, like Minerva mentioned about last chapter, Chrono could rewind her to the point where she wasn't even pregnant. But, at the same time, may not, he just doesn't, he doesn't have the capacity, right? Just like there are multiple lightning magics in this universe, presumably there are multiple time magics, just like Chrono's one of the most powerful ones. Let's see. Shwip. Wow. Interesting that he's back in human form, though. Why is he not in Leo Campus form? Oh, maybe he just needs to wield the staff in human form. But that's a good reason why they can't just run. Alright, interesting. So he is watching. Presumably. Really? What about others' moves, then? How far into this book have you read? Alright, so yeah, Chrono's not... He's probably barely 1v1ing Kizashi. He's definitely not winning a 2v1 against Hitsuki as well. Let's see. Alpha? Oh, okay. So it looks like we may be witnessing an actual future. We may be witnessing, like, a possible reality then. Okay, and that's cool. So... He even got cut off this time. So you can... It's not an instant thing. There is a time delay. Because he was able to get split this time. Let's see. Darn, yeah, Hitsuki was bisected. Wow! Let's see. All the way to the last word at the very end. We can see it all, you freaky fake white. She goes... I love Descartes so much, bro. I'd do anything for her, dog. We can see it all, you freaky fake waiter. Alright. So we're getting another... But yeah, interesting. He is directly sticking to his human form here. He's not going into full Leo Campus form. So it must be a limit based on... It must be a limit based on the staff itself. He cannot wield the staff in Leo Campus form. Maybe he's still holding back. Interesting. We can see it all, you freaky fake waiter. Yo, this spread is gonna go crazy. Oh! Oh, it's gonna be good. Please. The one critique I have for Ichi the Witch is that the fights are not that long or that in-depth. Please let this actually cook, bro. Let's see. Descartes and Chrono. Yo! Descartes and Chrono versus... I thought I saw something. But Descartes and Chrono versus Hitsugi and Kizashi, bro. My toes are curling. Let's see. Alright. Interesting, though. So, like, did Kizashi contact, or are they legit just watching the entire time? Huh. I don't know. Interesting. But World Hater himself isn't making any moves. There must be some limitations on him, then. Because why would he himself not show up to do this? Let's see. Let's say we pick up where we left off, eh? The prophecy was dead on. That was amazing, Master Jigishiro. Okay, that's cool, though. So it looks like Gokuraku altered the board so multiple people can ride on it. And then you have Ichi literally strapped to it. Let's see. The prophecy was dead on. That was amazing, Master Jigishiro. Of course it was dead on. You've been wrong before. Yo, watch the World Hater pull up on them. Watch the World Hater pull up on them and be like, I said Hitsuki to deal with them. Hi, I'm here to deal with you. Let's say we pick up where we left off, huh? Okay. Oh, I didn't realize he was still recovering. And then Hitsuki fully heals. Alright. So let's see. This is going to be A battle between more top tiers, right? Okay, let's see. But something still has to go wrong. Let's see. Uh-oh. Interesting. She's believed. Alright, interesting. With the first prophecy, I wondered why it used the word. So it is. Okay, so that was the prophecy. So how does it work? So she sees and she gets phrasing. I mean, I guess it makes sense that she gets phrasing because she translates all prophecies as words. But I thought that was just her like display, like saying what happened in her visions. No, she does get words and images. So he is like an evolved Oracle of Delphi thing. Let's see. With the first prophecy, I wonder why it used the word plural, we and our. And you know what? See, I thought it was strange why there were like bodies rising for one, and for two, where he got trident, and for three, it didn't sound like Kizashi, right? Like that like at least the phrasing that. So like, look at me. I wasn't fully right, but I was right that it had something to do with the world hater because Hitsugi's here. Let's see. Use the word plural, we and our. Going back for a clear prophecy just in case was the right move. There were going to be two enemies, Kizashi and Hitsugi. But even then, could be more. Like I would still wouldn't be shocked that this chapter ends with the world hater showing up. Now it's just a matter of speed. While Descaras and Chrono are stalling them, we have to get a clean getaway. But we already know, the thing is though, we know Kizashi, or not Kizashi, we know Hitsugi can just break into the Mental Witch Association. So like Minerva's not even safe there, but probably safer. Let's see. We have to get a clean Interesting, their nose is bleeding. Huh. Alright, let's see. Master Chikishirone? Ugh, I'm fine. Getting multiple prophecies in such a short time comes with a bit of a backlash. Interesting. So she can will them up on command, but there still is a price she has to pay. Alright. Interesting. From here on out, I'm going to get as many of them as I possibly can. Aww. So she's gone from, hey, you know, I'm a free. So she's picked her side, right? She's picked her side. So we may get another World Hater appearance sooner rather than later. With Hitsugi actually showing up again and fighting, we're probably gonna get a World Hater appearance soon. Because the whole thing Hitsugi came to her to warn, essentially came to Chikishirone about, or came to Semi about, was, hey. I use my hat for more because I still don't have an actual pocket watch. Where is it? Where did I put my hat? Where did I put my hat? The hat is gone. It's in the ether right now, bro. I have no idea where the hat went. But fine, we'll use the glasses. This is essentially what Hitsugi did. He's like, time's ticking. You better pick a side. And now she's clearly picking the human side, right? She's like, I'll do everything in my power in order to make sure that human-magic coexistence can occur. She's going directly against World Hater. Which is an interesting way to conclude the plotline. Or to be fair, not conclude it, but to develop it, right? Because now that she's picked her side, and clearly picked her side, as Descaras pointed out, we've read the book down to the very last page. Now that she's picked a side, obviously Hitsugi and the World Hater are going to make a move. And I still, like I said, I still don't think Descaras, as cool as a spread, the spread is fine, or is not really a full spread, but still, as cool as this page is, I don't think they're going to capture either of them. I think they're stalling, right? Like, ultimately, these two are still just a little bit too powerful right now, especially for a nerfed Chrono and a Descaras, even though Descaras technically should be able to go all out here. There's no real reason Descaras should lose. Should be the strongest character here at the moment, but obviously, I don't think she's going to be able to take off 204 lives in time, especially with the whole goal being stalling. But let's see. This is important, so listen closely. The future my prophecies foretell is absolute. If you're going to try and change it, then some half-hearted attempt isn't going to work. Hunt like a human possessed for any possible solutions, even crazy ones. It's your job to change fate. Well, see, that's the thing, right? Your prophecies aren't absolute. Well, they can't be absolute because of the fact that they can change, right? They may be absolute for a specific timeline, but the very second you see them, it's like a butterfly effect. Now that you know that, it's changed. This wasn't meant to happen. So, like, I don't know. Prophecies can't be absolute and fate can be changed, right? The two things cannot coexist. Unless you wanna do some 4 or 5D scaling and do some fate changing. But it's your job to change fate. You saying that like Okuraku? Oh, hey! So yeah, something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen for that to be brought up. Leave it to me. I'll keep you safe, even if it costs me my life. Yo. It's cinema! Hold on. Let me put the leg up. The leg up. You know, I'm not even mad anymore that I lost the original 17 minutes. Let me put the leg up. You can't see the leg. It's Cinema, dog. Ah! We love Ichi the Witch. Ichi the Witch, bro. Hold on. Let me hit it. Let me hit it for y'all. Yeah. A W chapter. Once again, I do like how this chapter is building on a theme that obviously Ichi the Witch is going to be fundamentally about, right? The idea of fate and changing it. And basically doing everything in your power to reject a fate you disagree with, right? Because ultimately that was what last chapter was all about. It was about Sammy accepting that, you know what, I don't need to be scared. I don't need to be fearful. I should not try and go against things that have been unnatural or not possible or not real before. If anything, I should dive headfirst in them. That's why she ends last chapter feeling the hope of the baby, seeing that future and be like, no, I need to change it no matter cost. I'm going to go in, I'm going to go help. And very specifically, seeing how things would go wrong, seeing how things would fail, seeing them use their power over and over again for the sake of this future builds once again into the idea that fate can be changed. And that's why I went over when Gokuraku asked, where is it? Right here. Are their prophecies really that accurate? That's why I went into the idea that it's not always accurate. Fate can be changed, or fate can just flat out be wrong. Fate, at the same time though, fate in like its most hard concept isn't, it's like impossible to fully deny, right? So like it isn't even really fate, just their possible futures that they're seeing here. But basically seeing them work through possible futures, seeing them fail, getting more context for how the prophecies work from Sammy's perspective. They not only get a direct image of what's going to happen, but they also get a phrase that goes along with it, right? She sees this, presumably, she sees this opening part, and she also sees the words, or hears the words that go along with it. Essentially think of it like a video with audio, right? Just this, right? So that's cool to see. We get more extrapolation on that. We get her focus and determination to do something with this. We get Gokuraku being set up to be the main protector and main savior right now. And we also get Chrono being set up as the main warrior type alongside Descaros, which is very, very cool. We get to see further delving into the relationship between a human and a Magic, which I do think is going to be important. Do I think we're going to see any of our main cast pipe down Magics? No? Outside of, like, maybe Gokuraku? Sorry. I've seen there's a lot of Ichi shippers out there. Like, I've seen a lot of Gokuraku and Ichi, ex-Ichi fanfic. And, like, I get it. Male character, two major characters. I mean, it happens, right? But, like, I personally don't see it happening. I think it's called, like, Apple Slice is, like, the ship name for Ichi and Kamugi, or like I just call it Kichi, but like Kichi I feel like is probably going to be endgame. I mean, to be fair, there are other popular manga that are doing poly stuff, so like maybe, but still it's nice to see further relationship and further establishment of it in the kiss between Minnie and Crow. And then of course, you know, I'm always going to glaze the aura. Not just Kizashi's aura. Like once again, as a villain, he's fantastic. I'm loving Kizashi as an antagonist. He's very Majin Buu coded in a way, where he does what he wants, how he wants, when he wants, no matter what other people want. But if you do manage to befriend him, he seems like he could actually be a really cool guy and an ally. But of course, you know, in this case, he's very unbefriendable. But then, I was not expecting a Hitsuki appearance. Once again, I really like the character, I really like their design. I'm very interested to see what the conditions are of their powers, why they keep sticking to the World Hater's abilities and not their own. I wonder if the World Hater himself is going to have any sort of interference, if there's going to be a third enemy, because we could mean 2, it also could mean 3, or 4, or 5. And obviously with Gokuraku being set up to having to protect them and keep them safe, even if it costs him his life, that's obviously going to lead to some sort of conflict. Do I think we're going to get Gokuraku versus the World Hater? I hope not, because Gokuraku will probably instantly die. But I don't know. I'm very, very intrigued. Ichi himself being removed from this arc, essentially for the ending of it, I'm, shockingly enough, like I said, I'm down with it. I don't mind when our main characters go, like, because, hey, it's a multi-character story. If we're going to have an entire main crew, let the whole main crew cook. And Ichi still got his moment. Even if it was him fumbling the bag, that's very important for the character too. You don't want your main character to be perfect and solve every single problem, so I'm more than happy with that. And it's just overall just a really, really good chapter. Probably band for band one of my favorites in the entire series so far. So Ichi the Witch, just consistently cooking. If you made it all the way to the end of this review, please do me a favor and leave no matter the matter. No matter the matter. As in, like, no matter what happens, but no matter the matter in the comment section down below. I want to thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that little notification bell so you do not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month to get things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member to the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Some of those perks will include the live reactions to every other series I happen to review, ad variations of all my videos, early access to all my videos, and your name read aloud at the end of every single video if you are a $3 member or higher in any of the tiers on Patreon or on the YouTube memberships. You get your name not just listed at the end, but also read aloud. On top of that, I do have a second channel that got the reaction. I've literally, at the time of recording, there are 3 videos up early for patrons and members right now that won't be dropping until like one of those videos won't be dropping until December, and this video is not dropping the same day it's being recorded because another video is already ready. So like early content, all that stuff, it's gonna be there. I still plan to do even more reaction videos for that second channel that got the reaction, which will be linked in the description down below. Those will all be early access to patrons and members. So if you want extra content for 2 separate channels, bada bing bada boom, that's how you get it. And on top of that, if you just want to drop 5 beans for the one time for a short video, like I'm talking like YouTube short level video, no problem. 5 beans to the Ko-Fi, or 25 beans to the Ko-Fi for a longer full-length video. But regardless, now that I've plugged literally everything, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our sketch tier members: Eternal Flame, Red Wolf 4765, Astro, Glacier Rick Z, Zera, Brendan Payne, J2MA, Gyomi, Bura Ura, Enzo, Swift Strike, Super Flame Zero, Yuki Ally, Azo2404, Striker Man, Grim, Straw, Ollie, The Boy, Corey Watson, Damon Brown, Magic, CCC, Ramondo Furin, Dino, Axis XC, Plant Crone, Pickle, Heath Nelson, Hector Gonzalez, P-Sub, Black Sage, Zapro, Tin Thomas, Alex Kenny, Kaving, Julian Perez, 8OA, Akolade Bamatunde, Union I, Oryxen, Nevis97, Sheesh King, Logan Guzman, Karina Hernandez, Window Life, and Dead Meme. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our line art tier patrons: A+A, Kevin Encarnacion, Sean, Midnight Lord 21, Dread Zoen, Alyssa Buhanos, and Norgazi Andasov. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our ink tier members: King RTX and Shrimpo the 4 Shrimp 06. I'd like to give a thank you to our digital art tier members: Jay Warrior and AZ Void. I'd like to give a final thank you to our colored art tier patrons: Waki Munoz and Waki Munoz.